G'day, I'm Harry. I'm certainly no mechanic, but I have a workshop because I just take on far too many projects. I have a habit of biting off more than I can chew, and currently I'm working on converting my GU Patrol that had a ZD30, so a 3-litre diesel engine, to a 4.2 diesel engine, which has turned out to be a pretty big project. So far, as you should be able to see behind me, I have ripped out the old engine and gearbox, and I've also, if I come down here, you can see that I've cut out the engine mounts that were here and there, because the ZD30 has different engine mounts to the TD42, and I've taken some measurements off the old GQ there, because basically the chassis are the same, to work out that the new mounts are going to need to fit somewhere in these areas here. But before we do that, in order to work out where the engine has to go, I first of all have to get the gearbox back in. Now, something I only learnt recently, and I haven't been able to find on any other through any other YouTube videos or any information, and I called some experts yesterday. Basically what we need to do is use the GU gearbox, which is this one sitting on the floor here, right? Because if you have a look, the top of the gearbox on the GU box is a lot lower than the GQ box over there. But what we need to do is use the GQ bell housing and cross member on this box. So that's my first job for the day, is swapping these two over. So we're going to start by removing this bell housing. There's half a dozen bolts or so, and you can see you should be able to see I've actually propped the gearbox itself up on a timber block, otherwise the bell housing would be hitting the top of my trolley here. These are going to be an absolute one of these is going to be a lifesaver to you, to position the box under the truck itself. So might be an idea if you don't already have one. Mind you, if you're not working with a hoist, you're going to need something much lower. So a couple of these bolts have been a little bit hard to get out. They don't want to loosen off with the rattle gun, so it's out with the breaker bar. A bit more leverage. You can hear how tight that's on. Get this one on. Probably also helps that I'm so heavy. We've got to remove the clutch fork as well. That's going to be interesting. Okay, gentle persuader. Here she comes. Okay, maybe give it a bit of a bang down at the bottom. Yep. Okay. She's looking loose. Come on. Remember, I'm not a mechanic. I'm learning along with you. And there we go. She's off. The next piece of this puzzle is to remove this cross member. So in order to do that, I've basically got to lift the gearbox up so I can get to the bolts on the bottom. Fortunately, I've got a mobile gantry crane to use, so we'll set that up and lift this box. I'll use the bolts that went into the housing here and then chain it at the back and suspend it just high enough to get underneath it and get these bolts undone. So there is the cross member we need with 20 odd years of dirt in it. Just one that there. So we'll go and put this gearbox down and out of the way, and we'll lift the GU one up. We'll run through the same process before putting it all back together. Alrighty, so now I've got the GU box on the trolley. We just have to repeat the process at this stage, get the bits off it that we need, and then we'll bring the GQ bits back and pop them on. So here we go. This out. This is a stupid design, by the way, if you can see this. I mean, welding the release onto the handle. Surely you could put a foot thingy on, and maybe I'll look at modifying it at some point in the future, but it does get in the way. Number 2 on. So what I'm going to do now is actually, these gearbox mounts look like they're cracking, and for some reason I think I've got a pair. So
who are you talking to?
Let's replace it. Oh, hello everybody. This is my father Ray. He's coming to help me with this big project. Come over here, let them see how you get dressed to work on a car.
Who are you talking to?
Lovely knitted jumper, dress slacks.
I'm not working.
This is how we do it. So, anywho, I'm going to grab my gearbox mounts and I'm making an instructional video in case some other poor schmuck takes this job on and thinks, how hard can it be? So I'm trying to show them step by step what goes on. So that's who I'm talking to. Now, we're going to put this GQ crossmember onto the GU gearbox. As you can see, my father is helping me. Let me just tell you, great guy, but he has less mechanical aptitude than I do. And me and my short fat fingers aren't going to be able to get that. So I'm going to use a tool. You right there?
Yep.
Having fun yet? Come on. While we're still young, yeah?
Yep.
Feel it. Can you feel it? The Jackson Boys. Can you feel it? Alright, so that's one side on. And I'm off for lunch. Just kidding. Just kidding. What? All this light here. Alrighty, you can move out of the way. Thank you very much. Come on. It was that easy, the truck will be back together. That's it, you just want it.
I'll just make it that way, you got two.
I'm going to edit up. Bing, alright. There we go. Now, we grab rattle gun bloody. Go. Here. And no, you can't fit that in. Oh, no, I'm doing it all.
So what are you doing?
Like I said, I am a mechanic, but I'm a world-class schlemiel. Some of you are going to have to look that up. And here, come on. Can't find it. Story of my life. Two long bolts are on the bottom of the bell housing. So get them in and started. Just remember, I'm not necessarily talking to you. There's millions of people out there who may be interested in this. Hardly doubt it. They just might be. You never know. Alrighty. Make sure the short bolts. Make sure everything goes back on with the washers, you know, take your time. There's no need to rush. If you're anything like me, your truck's been off the road for so long, what's another few hours? Cool. So we've got the gearbox ready to go in, so we're just going to raise it. So what we've done is we've basically just lowered the truck. You can see there's a bit of a gap between the cross member and the chassis, and then basically by using a screwdriver I can locate where I want these to go and add a bolt and at least get the thread started on it there. Alright, and then I'll go around to the other side, locate that, get a thread started, and then basically just zap them all up, and that'll put the gearbox where it's supposed to be. Gearbox is all in, buttoned up. Beauty of having a hoist though is I can work on this truck, I can pull the tyres off and get it really close to the ground, which is a massive benefit. And you've still got to lift this bloody engine up higher than I'd like to, but with the disc sitting really just a couple of inches off the ground, it allows me to work so much more easily on the truck. And this is the mighty TD42 that we're going to be putting into our GU. Now, I bought this in an actual running truck. It was running about 15 PSI using a standard 10mm injector pump. As you can see, I've already added an 11mm pump onto it, and I've also put a low mount turbo on. So it's more of a factory type setup, but between the injector pump and that turbo, we should be getting anything up to about 20 PSI is my hope. We've also changed over the air conditioning compressor from the GQ. We'll be using the GQ power steering pump and the GQ alternator, but at this stage I've tried to leave as much off the front as possible just to allow us some wiggle room as we try and actually get this into the engine bay. So yeah, we'll hook it up to the crane and give it a crack.